Welcome back. This is the part 4 of the Hiller hover assembly. In the earlier segment, if you remember, we had taken the Hiller hover and we had fixed the servos. We had also fixed the tail servo. We had fixed the motor. And now what I have done is I have already taken the ESC and fixed the ESC to a 10-channel receiver. This is the RZ10, a 10-channel receiver that came with the RCB OS-10. This RCB OS-10 is an open source software oriented transmitter. It is also comes with telemetry, and I had this with me, so I'll be using this to program the Hiller hover 6-channel CCPM heli. So what we need to do is first is if you remember in the last segments we had some arms on these servos here and here. Let me just remove this here, and also on the elevator. So I've gone ahead and removed those arms, and what we will do is we will go ahead and of course before that you need to bind the receiver to the transmitter. All right, so go ahead and do the binding first, and then you need to come to this step. So let's go ahead and let me just zoom in here if possible. Give me a minute. Yeah, I hope you can see now. I'm going to switch on my transmitter. Now for the transmitter, keep everything. I've used the mode 2 here, where the throttle is on the left hand side and all the switches are on the top. And this is the way that we will go ahead and proceed. And I think this seems to be fine. Let me switch it on now. All right. Now go ahead and press enter. And now what I would prefer is, and always I would recommend everybody for each and every one of you is, whenever you start with a new model, please open a new fresh model on the transmitter. Don't use one of the older models that you have and then try to make modifications here. The reason being that you need to have the pitch curves, the throttle curves, the endpoint, the sub trims, everything as what it was. And on the basic level it should be all to 0, so don't make any changes to it. So what you do is you go ahead and press enter and hold enter and come down, press down, come to model setting and press enter and select a new model. Now I have used model number 1 for this. You can use any one if you have, and what you need to do is just select this and go ahead and select any one of them that you have. Now I have already selected number 1. I've already placed the name, and then click enter and choose heli. You have other options like the glider, multi-rotor, acro, that's for a plane, etc. But here of course we are using a heli, so preferably of course you go ahead and use the heli option. Press enter, then symbols, and if you want to copy any other model, that you don't have to do that right now. And this will be used for binding, that you will have to do that on your own. There are a couple of more videos which I think RC Bazaar has done how to bind this, so please go have a look at that. And of course please use the RF power always at 100 MW. You don't want to go across a little bit anything lower than 100 MW because of the range, so you will get a decent range with 100 milliwatts. And let me just exit from here and then come to parameter setting. And when you come to parameter setting, please go across the menu where it shows the Swash. Yeah, here's the Swash, and select 120 degrees CCPM. There are other types too. If you press enter, you can proceed and see 140 degrees, 90 degrees single also. Here it is, single servo. But what we are going to use is for 120 degrees CCPM. So please go ahead, and these are the basics. You need to go, you need to proceed, or you need to initiate for you to start programming. Now with this, what you need to do is you need to bind. Of course the RZ10 is already bound to this, and the ESC is already plugged. The ESC is plugged on channel number 3, and also if you can see, there is signal positive, negative. Signal is always the lighter color, that's the white color wire should be facing towards the signal. So channel number 1 is the aileron, channel number 2 is the elevator, channel number 3 is the throttle, channel 4 will be for the rudder and gyro, which will come to later. Channel 6 is for the pitch servo. So this is how it goes in. All right. So I will pick up a LiPo battery which I have lying here somewhere with me if I'm right. I'll fix the LiPo battery and let's start programming this and let's take this forward. Okay, I had a battery with me and I am going to connect. Of course, always please see to it that the transmitter is on first and then go ahead and connect. And please see that very importantly is do not connect your motor wires yet. We will do that later. Do not connect the motor wires to the ESC wires. Okay, do not do that right now. We'll come to that later. So let's go ahead and connect the ESC to the power supply, which is the LiPo battery. Of course, red to red, black to black. Yeah, you see it is already bound and it's got a purple light on. And with this, you please proceed and push this to the center, the throttle to the center. Okay, now at this point, everything is at the midpoint. That means to say the throttle is on the center, the aileron is in the 0 or the center position, and the elevator is the center position. So at this point of time, what you can do is you can start picking up your, keep this aside with the center, keep this aside, and I want you to start fixing the arms which you had removed earlier. So you will have for the ailerons pitch elevator arms. We'll go ahead and we'll fix those arms and we'll come back within a few minutes. Alright guys, now you can see I have fixed the arms on the servos. This I've used this as the pitch servo. This is the, let me again confirm, yeah, this is the pitch servo. This is the elevator servo, and this is the aileron servo, which I have gone and fixed it on the receiver. So channel number 1, channel number 2, and channel number 6. Now with this you can see, and also the transmitter, the sticks are at the center. Now if you're not able to get these sticks exactly the center, just enter into the, press and hold enter, press into the parameter setting, then come down to maybe throttle curve, press and hold throttle, and then you can see when you move your stick, you can see there's a dotted line moving. See to it to get the dotted line at the center exactly. Now that means to say this is at the center, and exit. Now at this point, all these arms should be exactly horizontal. If they are not, we need to use subtrims to make them horizontal. You can see this is slightly inclined, this is slightly positive, or sometimes you may even get negative, but you should get a 0 degree. So let's go ahead and do all this now using the transmitter. Press and hold enter. Again press parameter settings, come down to subtrims and enter channel number 6 for this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, here you can say 6. Let me go ahead and press enter. Now you can make this positive or you can make this as negative. So let me show that to you how it works. Let me keep this in the background. It's a little bit tough to show both of them together, but I've got my finger on the up and down of the transmitter, and you can see the servo. This servo will go up and down. Yeah. So we need to get it almost horizontal. Eyeball is as much as possible. Many of the 3D flyers, what they do is they actually put a bubble level here. They put a bubble level and then they see to it that you get exactly horizontal. But of course, as I told you earlier, this is a beginner heli. You don't have to be extremely accurate with this. So you can just eye level it so that these, if you can see it very closely here, these lines should just meet. That means to say this screw should just align and meet up with this. So it's like kind of an imaginary line. So let this arm be as horizontal as 0 degrees as possible. So let me, now it's positive. Yeah, I think I've almost got it. No, it's still down. Yeah. So this is almost horizontal. Now this arm is already horizontal here. This is channel number 2. Let me check up on channel number, sorry, just shook the camera, channel number 1. So this has gone down. So let us go to channel number 1 here. Exit subtrims, channel number 1, press and enter. Now let us I can see it's almost, this is horizontal. So this is horizontal now. The elevator channel, elevator servo is horizontal, and also I move this stick here. This is also horizontal. So we are fine. We are fine to go now. We are fine to proceed. And what we next need to do is we need to see to it that all the directions, the aileron direction, the elevator direction, and the pitch direction is all same. So let us start doing that now. And let me just set up the table and let us meet within a minute again. Alright guys, as you can see, we have already centered the servo as close as possible. That means we have zeroed the servos. First we have done it mechanically. That means we have fixed it as close as possible to 0, and if they are not come to 0, then we have used subtrims. We have used subtrims in the transmitter to get them as close as possible to 0. Now once that is done, we have to see that the direction of the pitch, that means to say the swash movements, is right or wrong. So simple as it is, once you give across a positive swash, that's a positive throttle, the servo should move up. All of them should go up. That means to say this is the pitch servo, this is the aileron servo, and this is the this is the pitch servo, this is the elevator servo, and this is the aileron servo. All the 3 servos should go up. They should not come down. So let's go ahead and check out one by one which is going up or down. So let me push this down first, and when I push this up, the arm should go up. So let us see if I can get both of them in. Yes. So when I'm moving this up now, this is going down. That means to say the pitch servo and the elevator servo has to be reversed. Let me check up on the aileron servo. Aileron servo, if I push this on the, if I push this, you can see the servo arm here, they should go up when I push this throttle on the top. Yeah, this is fine. You can see this is moving up. So that is good. So this we don't have to, the aileron servo, we don't have to do anything. We actually have to go ahead and just reverse channel number 6 and channel number 2. So let's proceed with that. How do you do that? You come to parameter settings, press enter, come to channel reverse, press enter, then come across to channel number 2, that is press down, and just press enter. See, you can see the bar has moved the other side. Come down to channel number 6, same thing here. Lovely. Now with this we should have, let me just come out of here, we should have the servo should go on the top when I give a positive throttle. Lovely. Now you can see, and even this should go towards the swash. That means to say, yeah, all of them are moving in the right direction. All the 3 servos are going up when I give the throttle. So this seems to be in perfectly fine direction. Now I am going to switch off my transmitter and let us start fixing the ball links. And we have to refer back to the manual. So let's pick up the manual and also pick up, if I'm right, the ball links and the links that I had come across in a packet. And let me go and fish for that packet and come back to you within a minute. Alright guys, if you remember in package number 6 earlier, we had removed this for a few other things, specifically on the tail. You will also find this 3 links. You can see there will be 3 links, 2 long and 1 short, and also you will find this 1, 2 and 3, 4 balls basically. This one goes on the tail, and this 3 goes across on the servos, which is one is for the aileron, elevator and the pitch. So keep them aside and let's pick up these links now. Now as you can see, these two links are slightly longer and one is shorter. And if you can pick up your manual in page number 10, as per the manual, the length of the elevator and the pitch, this I have taken as a pitch if you remember. No, I'm sorry. This I've taken as the aileron. The aileron and the elevator, the length is given here. That means to say from the center to the center of the link of the aileron and the elevator should be 46.5 mm. And the servo here, which I have taken it as a pitch, you can reverse it, it's not a large issue. So this one which I have taken, this servo, which is, let me pick this up, this servo which I've taken as a pitch, and this is the aileron servo. And for the pitch servo, the length from the center to the center of the ball link is 33.5. So we need to get this as per the manual, and then we can make some arrangements when we'll make some few adjustments when we go ahead and level our swash. Now for that, what I have done is I have taken a piece of paper. I've drawn two dots here, which is exactly the distance between the dots is 46.5 mm. So let me just zoom in. So what we need to do is pick up these two long links that we have and place them here at the center. And now you can see it is not aligning. So we need to tighten these. And what I would prefer, and again very importantly, is please see to it that you tighten both of them in an equal manner. That means if you make 5 turns, take 5 turns here. Don't tighten everything one side and let this not be loose. So see to it that both the sides, that means if I turn about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I will go ahead and use the same thing also here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this manner, you need to go ahead and tighten it till you see that the holes here and here coincide. I have done this for this link right now. If you can see, it is almost, yeah, this is, I can see here, this is the center to the center of the link is 46.5 mm. So you need to do for this too. And for the pitch servo, it should be 33.5. However, just to keep you informed, I had a little bit of an issue with the pitch servo link. And as per the manual, if you can look at this bit closely, the length of the rod should be 22 mm. Whereas unfortunately, when I opened this rod, this was much bigger than 22 mm. Let me just open this and show this to you right now. So this one is not exactly 22. This has come close to 30 mm. So this I'm sure we will have a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Dremel and I'm going to cut off few mm from here and few mm from here, and at least try to get it across to 25 if possible. Yep. So I think they should be in a position to get about 25, cut off about 3 mm to 3 mm here, and then I will go ahead and do this. So let me take a Dremel. If you don't have a Dremel, maybe you'll have to use a file and try to file this as much as possible. And again, you don't have to get exactly to 22, make it to 25, 26, or even 27 is also fine. Cut it to around 27, just around 2.5, 3 mm or 3 mm from here. 3 mm from this corner, 3 mm from this corner. Okay? All right, let me do this and let me come back to you. Okay, I went and used a Dremel, a grinder, a cutting tool, and I cut about 2.5 mm from here and 2.5 mm from here. If you remember, earlier the length was close to 30, but now it is around 25. I think this should be more than enough. So you need to go ahead and shave off or cut off a few of length from either corners. And once done, let us go ahead and, it's as simple as that. Start inserting this and start fixing the links there. So I'll not waste any more video time. I will go ahead and fix this, and I will get this to the length what is required here, which is 33.5 here, and this one will also get coincided with here, and this one also needs to be tightened to 46.5. This one is already done, so we don't have to worry about this. So this and this, I will do this and I'll come back to you within a minute. Now the lengths have been measured, and let me just show it to you. Both the lengths, the aileron and the elevator. These are the two long lengths. This is pretty darn close, which I could get as much as possible for 46.5. This is 46.5. This also seems to be 46.5. Let me just zoom in if possible. Yep. And this one is 33.5. After cutting the link a bit, I think I almost got it there. Because of the camera, I think the angle is showing a little bit off, but this is what it is, 33.5. Now, this seems to be absolutely fine as per the manual. Let me just zoom out, please, 1 second. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and pick up the heli. We will have to fix the ball here. And to the elevator, if you remember, I had removed the balls long time back early on the second link, and we'll have to fix the ball from inside out. Inside out, same thing also from inside out. This one will be facing outside. For the elevator, it will be facing outside, and the ball will be facing here in, and the ball will be facing here in. And once we do that, we will go ahead and fix the links according to the swash. All right, I'll have to open this back again, and I will fix the balls right now, and we'll come back within a minute. And I suggest you do the same thing too. Here you can see that I have fixed the ball. As I told you, this should be from inside out. Here, this part, the ball is already fixed, and I have gone ahead and fixed the smaller arm here. And I really don't know if I told it otherwise, but this is where the smaller arm will go. This is where the longer arm, and this is where the longer arm will go. And even on the the arm here, you can see that I have fixed the ball from inside out. Okay, and on the elevator, it is fixed from outside in. So this seems to be all fine, and I have fixed the links already. This is as per the manual. Now the next part is we will need to start leveling the swash. Now to level the swash, we need to remove the entire head and keep a swash level. If you don't have a swash level, we'll use another method, which is the zip tag method. It's not an accurate method, but I think let's go ahead and do that zip tag method, because I am sure not many of you will be having a level gauge. So for leveling the swash, which is the most important part, we will have to remove this link, which let's do that right now if possible. This comes off, even this comes off. The washout arm, this also comes off. The arm from the fly bar to the swash, this comes off. So this entire 4 of them, they come out. And then what we need to do is we need to remove the screw from the main shaft here. As you can see, we had a long screw here. We need to remove that too. And yeah. Okay, you know what? Let me remove this, and I'll remove the entire head and come back to you. And I think you also need to do the same thing. Okay, I've removed the entire head outside now, and this is the part we will start using. We'll have to start leveling the swash here. It's quite a simple procedure, but this is extremely important. You have to level the swash. The reason being that if you don't do this, if you take off the heli, that means during takeoffs or when hovering, all the servos will, or rather the servos will move in the same speed and the same direction, of course, but the swash will be tilted. That means to say the heli will not be hovering accurately. It will start drifting to the right, or to the left, or the front, or the back. So for those, to eliminate that, we have to level the swash so that when the heli takes off, it takes off in a proper vertical way and not drifting to right, left, or fore and aft, so front and back. So let's start doing that. Again, what I will do is I'll use a very I can't say crude, but a kind of a rudimentary method where we'll use a zip tag to level the swash. So let me set up the camera and I will be back within a minute and a half. Okay guys, before we start leveling the swash, I just wanted to show you this is how a swash level looks like. And it's as simple, we just push this across in the main shaft, and there are a lot of videos on YouTube and on Google. Just go and select how to level a swash using a swash level on a 450 heli, you will get it. But however, I'm not going to use this as I stated earlier. I'm going to keep this aside, and this is what I am going to use. This is what I have made. And this is literally what we call as a poor man's swash level. And this is done by a zip tag. I've just put a zip tag, cut it off, and taken the other piece and glued it here. So this is what we will be using to level our swash. So let me pick up my transmitter and let me show you how, or before that, let me just pull this out and show you. See, it's as simple as that. Just a zip tag, cut it off at this point so it doesn't go and touch, and the other end cut and just glue it with the super glue, or what do you call it, as cyanoacrylate. It's extremely simple. It gives you decent, accurate results. It's not the best, but this is how you can go ahead and at least get a decent level of swash level to your heli. So let's go ahead with this now. Let me pick up my transmitter and let me fix this and come back within a minute.